Hello, everyone. It's an honor being here in front of you to speak and in front of everybody back home. My name is Ștefan Chiriacescu. I'm going to do a very short introduction, just so you can understand kind of like what's qualifying me for being here. I am currently an e-commerce business owner and an e-commerce marketing agency owner. I started back in 2010 in college. I had a business, learned the hard way on Google. I chose Magento back then. And I sold that business in 2014. Then I started doing consulting and managed services. And today, Ecommerce Today, our agency has 70+ active clients. We've worked with hundreds of clients over the years. And we focus primarily on email marketing. One of the reasons why I was asked to speak about email marketing is because it is vastly underappreciated or worked on by companies, small and large. And we work with mom and pop stores, like where the owner wears all the hats. But we also work with corporate accounts that have hundreds of physical stores that they are failing to use email marketing for as well. So last year, we generated close to $10 million in sales within emails for our clients. And more than 70% of that came from automated emails. Not campaigns, not Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Very high quality email marketing automation. And I'm going to be sharing the flows that we are actually building for our clients with everyone here and back home. First of all, I want to talk about numbers. Why is email marketing so important today, post-COVID? Because digital advertising, if you just do a simple Google search, this is actually snippets from Google, from the questions. ROI for Google Ads, for example, is going to be between 3, 10 is an overreach, but let's say 3 to 10 euros for one, 3 to 10 to 1, the ROI. Email marketing, on the other hand, again, out of Google, and this is email marketing alone, it's 30 to 44 to 1 ROI. So you're going to be getting 30 to 44 euros for every euro you spend in Google Ads. And of course, the ads infrastructure out there today is much bigger. We're talking about Instagram, Meta, we're talking about TikTok, Snapchat, Reddit, and so on and so forth, wherever you want to run ads. But Google is something that everybody's doing, so we just focused on that. If you think 3 to 1 versus 30 to 44 is a big difference, think again, because email marketing automation has even higher ROIs than the regular bulk campaigns that get sent out. And we ran the numbers for you. Last year, so our clients generated $9.8 million in sales from emails. Out of that, 70% was from email automation. And my team calculated the costs of the services they use and the actual cost of putting together the email, so the workload. And in the end, the ROI was 68 to 1 for our clients last year. And again, the vast majority of them are doing email marketing automation flows that I'm going to be sharing with you. And I believe it would be very useful for you to use them. Because without automation today, without email marketing automation, it's very, very difficult to be profitable with your digital advertising efforts. Cool. So before I mention the flows, it's 7 flows, we'll speak about them shortly. I want to make sure that we talk the same language and that we understand the basics of email marketing. What is email marketing made up of? It's made up of transactional emails, automated emails, and the bulk sends, campaigns, newsletters, etc. I'm going to say just a few words about transactional emails because we have never met, like in 300 companies that we've been in contact with over the last couple of years, none of them had transactional emails correctly optimized. Transactional emails are new order, new account, forgot password. These are the type of standard emails that anybody is sending out. But what people don't know is that these are the emails that will have the highest open rate and, if correctly optimized, click-through rate from any emails that you will ever send out. Whenever someone opens one of your emails, or more importantly, clicks on one of your emails, it tells Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, Apple, whatever the inbox provider is, that you are a safe sender. When you are a safe sender over and over and over again, your reputation goes up, so that when you do actually send a bulk email to your customers about a sale that's going on, new arrivals, newsletter, in-store event, Black Friday, whatever, that email lands in an inbox versus a spam folder or a promotions folder. So make sure that you understand transactional emails and how important they are, and optimize them. I'm not going to talk a lot about bulk emails, newsletters, because from what we've seen with our clients, most of them understand what they are, and they use them, unfortunately, too much. I'm going to talk about email automation. So what do you need for email marketing automation? You need to make sure, first of all, that you have the right email marketing service provider, because if you do not, you're not going to be able to track the activity of your website's visitors, and equally as important, the activity of your website's customers. You have to be able to track all of that. You do have to have the right technical foundation for email marketing to work correctly. That means, number one, setting up domain authentication. Take responsibility for the fact that you're sending out emails. Don't just use public pools that service providers offer, like, I don't know, MailChimp, Klaviyo, Omnisend. They have their own pools, and you can use them, but you're going to be sending an email from the same IP as another 70, 100 other companies. So your reputation will be their reputation, and unfortunately, vice versa. You need to make sure that you have a clean email marketing list. And this is addressing everyone in the room and back home, even though if you're a business owner, if you're a manager, a marketing manager, responsible for email marketing in your company, or if you're an agency owner. These are things that you should ask yourself and make sure that they are set up correctly. You need to set up email marketing automation as well as a fundamental flow, because email automation will not only help you get more sales, but it will help your reputation to go up. Automation emails typically have higher open rates and higher click-through rates. Going back to what I was saying earlier, they will help you get a good reputation, and you'll be able to get more emails in front of people in inboxes. And last but not least, you need to think about the marketing plan that you're using within the company. If you have one, unfortunately, we have seen maybe 50% of the clients we ever spoke with in the last couple of years did not have a marketing plan. Joe from digital advertising was running campaigns. Karen from graphic design is creating an email now and then. And the purchasing manager says, why do I still have like thousands of products here when I was supposed to run a campaign to sell them out? So have a marketing planner. Make sure that the entire team is aware of that marketing planner and use it efficiently. This is about you thinking about the big picture. How are we going to make sure that we correctly communicate to our clients? And I'll just give you a scenario very quickly. Let's say that you send out a newsletter to one of your customers. They receive hundreds of newsletters per week. Maybe they're going to have a look at it and forget about it, most likely. If they do go to social media and they see an ad running for that specific campaign, they're going to be reminded of the email that they saw. It's going to be much easier for them to go back to their inbox and open the email, look at the coupon, find the promotion, etc. If your email does have a landing page on the website, if that is optimized, when you do click on that, when you do get someone to click on your email, the page that they land on is very, very important. If it's a product you're featuring and you didn't add all the images, if it's a collection that you're featuring and you didn't have all the products easily stacked up or arranged for the customer to be able to view them, you're going to have lesser results. So think about the big picture. Don't think about email marketing like, I'll just put together an email and send it over. So that's you preparing for the journey, just making sure that you understand what your current efforts are in this direction. Make sure that you're using the right service provider for your e-commerce business. And this really depends on what you've built your site on. If it's going to be Shopify, if it's going to be Magento, BigCommerce, the big names, WordPress and still in WooCommerce, then you're going to have your pick, because most of the email marketing service providers are integrating with these directly. If you have a custom site, the situation changes. You're not going to be able to implement what I'm about to show you in a couple of days or a week. You will need developers, and lots of them. Good luck. Cool. And I also made the note there, run a usability audit of the website. Very few companies do this. When we start communicating with a new client, we always do a usability audit, and we give them a big picture of the problems that they currently have on their site, and the reaction is always the same. Oh, we've known about these problems for years, and we've been trying to fix that since half a year ago, and so on. Because that information never gets put on paper, and you don't actually have an audit and a checklist and people responsible to fixing those things on the website, they never get fixed. So make sure that you try to do this for your own companies, businesses, or jobs. OK, so we're going to go into the flows right now. Again, the automation flows. They are called a flow because there's action and reaction. You always have to have this mindset. What is the visitor or the customer, or both, doing on the website? They are taking an action. That action can be anything from viewed page to viewed product to placed order. And the reactions on the other end can be that you trigger an email, or you trigger a delay, or you trigger a check. Does this customer have an affinity that we are looking for? Do they prefer products from brand A or brand B? And so on. It's always going to be a flow, a logic structure. Let's talk about the first flow that 70% of our clients typically have a variant of this. The first flow is always going to be the welcome flow, or the new subscriber flow, how we like to call it. It has to have some very important elements. Number one, it has to have a pop-up, or in our case, we typically recommend multiple pop-ups, one for desktop and one for mobile, so that you can then A/B split test desktop separately. You can A/B split test mobile separately. So just start with 2 pop-ups from the very beginning. The target of the pop-ups is to capture email addresses to offer an incentive. But it's very important for you to be careful when using pop-ups for 2 reasons. Number one, the Google page speed score. If you show the pop-up too soon, you have to have minimum 5 seconds delay to be safe. And ideally, don't show the pop-up on the first page the visitor lands on. Show it starting with page number 2. And the second thing you need to be wary of is do not be annoying to customers, to visitors. If you are going to take their attention, you have to be sure that you are offering them something valuable in return. That means an incentive, free PDFs, not so much. Try to be mindful of this. The purpose of the new subscriber flow is to capture email addresses and to convert new subscribers into new customers. We typically do that with a series of 3 emails that get sent out between 5 to 7 days since the customer did subscribe to the newsletter. And you can use these emails to communicate the incentive. You can present popular products and or categories. In email number 2, you can actually add a personal message or mix of testimonials to just get the customer's attention and confidence. And also in email number 3, again, incentive last chance, and then testimonials, mix of social media if you do have a social following gathered in your database. This new subscriber flow is, I would say, critical whenever you do digital advertising. If you're doing digital advertising today and you don't have this set up the way it is right now, you are leaving serious amounts of money on the table from the sales that you could be getting from your customers. Next up, we're going to talk about abandonment. And most companies have checkout abandonment. Typically, it's called cart abandonment with all the email marketing service providers. But that's actually a misstatement, because most of them track checkout abandonment. Cart abandonment is when you add something to the shopping cart and then abandon the site before reaching the checkout page. That's checkout abandonment. We normally build 4 abandonment flows: site abandonment, browse abandonment, cart abandonment, and checkout abandonment as part of our fundamentals structure. Site abandonment gets sent out when we bring a visitor over to the website and they abandon the site before looking at a product. So they land on the homepage from a brand campaign, for example, from digital advertising. They just see the homepage. They read the About Us page, maybe. They land on a collection page, a category on the website, but they don't actually open a product. In those cases, we call this site abandonment, and we send out 1 or 2 emails. It really depends on the engagement. But if we are going to be sending out 2 emails, we typically send out the first one within 2 to 4 hours after the abandonment process has happened, so the information is still fresh. And we present, what do we present? Popular products. We want to get that visitor back on the website for them to actually see products and just show them the most popular products that you have. And of course, social proofing, so that the visitor understands you do have a following behind your brand. If you don't have a social proofing package that you can rely on, just use testimonials from customers about the store and reviews from products from customers. Anything that shows a community behind your brand. The browse abandonment flow is similar to the site abandonment one, just that we are going to be showing the product that was abandoned, the product that the customer last looked at. And again, we want to use the same 2 to 4 hours delivery for the first email. We want to showcase the last viewed product, and we want to present popular products and popular reviews from those products. And email number 2 with a 1 or 2 days delay. Honestly, we always do. This is one of the first A/B split tests that we do for every new client. And for some, 1 day delay on the browse abandonment email works best than others for 2. It really depends on the product, your target audience, and so on. Cart abandonment flow. The main difference between cart abandonment and checkout abandonment is that you are not 100% sure why the cart was abandoned. The cart can be abandoned for one of 2 reasons. 1, the customer hasn't finished shopping yet. So you don't want to go to the customer saying, hey, here's an incentive, complete your order. You want to test and find out for your customer base what makes the most sense. And typically, the golden rule for both cart abandonment and checkout abandonment is email number 1 goes out quite quickly, like 2 to 3 hours from the moment it was abandoned. But email number 2 should not go like most agencies set it up 24 hours later. Because what can typically happen is the customer is at his workplace, for example, and they just finished their coffee break or lunch break, so they abandon the session. You don't want to send them an email tomorrow at exactly the same time. You want to try to send them an email tomorrow, 1 hour earlier than they abandoned the checkout or the shopping cart. So in cart abandonment, we are going to present popular products, we're going to do social proofing, we're going to give them access to our support or for apparel concierge services if you have them. Just make sure that the customer understands we are there for them and we want to help them complete their checkout. And on the checkout abandonment, this is a customer that did get to the checkout page, added information, did not add information, it doesn't really matter. They are on the checkout page, we don't want to lose them. We strongly recommend to our clients at least once per customer lifetime for them to incentivize the checkout process. And clients typically accept incentivizing abandoned checkout once per year per customer. The delivery is pretty similar, so 2 to 3 hours after the abandonment process, 22 to 33 hours after the abandonment event started for email number 2, and use an incentive. Okay, this is, that's pretty much it with abandonment flows. So when you do abandonment flows, just don't do only checkout. Checkout is the most important abandonment flow, and it's going to have the highest revenue always, even if you do have all 4 flows set up. But the other 3 flows are together, generating for our clients almost as much revenue as the checkout abandonment flow on its own. Last but not, actually last from our fundamentals flow is the new customer flow. We believe everybody should have this, and everybody should decide on what the targets are with the new customer flow. There are 3 targets that we typically try to present to our clients from a new customer that we're trying to accomplish from this flow. One is branding, of course. Here's who we are on social media, testimonials, leave a testimonial, just build the audience behind your brand. And another one is post-purchase support. So if you are offering post-purchase services like extended warranty, product assembly, consulting, you want to make sure that you're letting your new customer know about these services. And target number 3, and the most important one, is to incentivize a second purchase. This is immensely successful with our clients because today you're going to do remarketing campaigns with digital advertising to bring new customers back onto the website. And those are going to be very, very expensive. Regardless of what incentive you pick for a new customer, and you bring that customer back in 20 to 30 days after he placed their first order, you are going to be much better off from a profitability standpoint than you are if you're going to be targeting that customer with digital ads. So we always, absolutely always, try to incentivize a second purchase, and that typically goes 20 to 30 days after the first purchase has been done. If your business is a business that only sells one product or very few products that are expensive and they only get bought out seasonally, it doesn't make sense to tell the customer to buy another product in 20 or 30 days. So what we normally recommend to our clients is, let's switch gears. Let's do what we call a friends and family promotion, in which you incentivize a second purchase, but you actually incentivize the customer to give that promotion to someone else that's close to them. This conversation can take many, many hours, as I've spoken with a lot of business owners over the years. There are a lot more flows that you should have in the back of your mind. Of course, talking about SMS and text message marketing, crucial, especially for North America and a few Western Europe countries where SMS does work very well. You can have post-purchase, a flow for the second order for customers, where if you haven't used your friends and family coupon, you would use it there. VIP flows, user-generated content flows, maintenance flows for win-back and sunsetting, bringing back customers that haven't placed an order in a while, keeping your list of subscribers and doing maintenance on the list of subscribers. There's a lot more you can do, but just have the fundamentals flows built, and you'd honestly have a massive advantage versus, I can tell you, most of your competition. We have not seen any company have all of those flows, which we consider to be fundamental built in the last couple of years. I'm just going to leave this out there. It's going to be visible on the website as well. This is how we structure, as an agency, tasks for email marketing for our clients. We have a preparation stage. But this is exactly how a business owner or a marketing manager should do it for their own business. So preparation stage, and then weekly tasks and monthly tasks. Because email automation is not something that you're going to just build once and that's it. It's going to make money for you nonstop. It is. It's going to run on its own. But you're leaving so much room for improvement because you can always A/B split test everything. And that kind of knowledge is going to help you with your overall business. So that's why you have the A/B split test flows and testing sign-up forms and so on. Okay, key takeaways. Don't overthink, act. That is the biggest problem I've seen with clients over the years. They tend to want to have something that is perfect, but perfect is not defined. And there is no such thing as perfect. Every business is different. The country it operates in or countries it operates in is going to be different as well. And the customers are going to be different. Also, you're going to have geopolitical, inventory issues. You're going to have seasonality. So you cannot build something perfect. You can work towards something that will be as close as possible to perfect, but it will never be. So just have the separate fundamental flows built. first of all, for yourself, then start doing A/B split testing, adding additional flows. Connect your UGC, your user-generated content service, with your email marketing provider. Grow. We have clients that we've been doing optimization of email marketing automation flows for 6, 7 years. It's only getting harder because you have to beat yourself, but there's always room for improvement. That's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to present to all of you. I honestly hope that you're going to implement these flows and you're going to start putting some, asking those questions to yourself and to your teams. And I hope they help you as they have helped both me as an e-commerce business owner, but also as an agency. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stefan Chiriacescu. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sadly, we don't have that much time for questions, but I've got one.
Okay.
In the dark old days when I was still in startups, I used to work for, amongst other things, email automation for political parties, which was a lot of fun. And one thing is having the technology, and then the other is trying to explain to people how to basically enable those changes and how to make sure that they look out for the strategies, that they know what they're doing. Do you have any stories with your clients where it was that psychological barrier that was problematic for the implementation?
It's actually it starts in the sales process. In the beginning, we weren't so aware of this problem. There's always a disparity between what we understand as professionals and what clients, business owners particularly understand. We've learned to kind of get these problems out in the sales process, even before we sign up with a new client. And we just have to change gears, to switch and adapt the communication to what they specifically understand. And I was talking a couple of weeks ago with an executive from a very big brand. And we were talking about email marketing and automation. We actually did some other work with them, and then they were like, you guys do email marketing as well? Yes, OK. So I started talking about the 7 fundamental flows. Honestly, I've said this hundreds of times. With him, and being an executive in a marketing position, I was expecting everything to be crystal clear to him. And towards the end, he started asking me something about Black Friday and Cyber Monday and how the new subscriber flow is going to... And I was like, oh, hold on a second. Nothing got through. Let me stop and let's go back. And I actually had to share my screen and just go through one of my test accounts and show him, look, this is me. I'm on your site. You can see the activity being tracked here. You can react to every single one of these stimulus. They were like, OK, this makes a lot more sense now. But yes, I run into that problem in 1 out of 3 calls that we typically get with clients. And it's always important to make sure, for anyone here who's a manager or working in a company and you have to go to your boss with, I want to do this on email marketing, these 7 flows, just make sure that they understand email marketing, what's it made up, why it's important, like the ROIs, that simple research that I did earlier, just for them to understand the power in terms of finance. And what are the actions and the reactions? Make sure you speak the same language.
So it's basically physics. Thank you so much, Stefan. Thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you very
everyone.
much.